In the quiet town of Uyo, there lived a young woman named Amora. Amora was the kind of woman every mother prayed their son would find: gentle, hardworking, loyal to a fault. She believed in love the way children believe in fairy tales. To her, love was sacrifice. Love was endurance. Love was staying even when it hurt. Then she met Tond. Tond was charming. The type of man who spoke softly but carried big dreams. He told Amora he would build an empire one day. He said she was different. He said she was his peace. And Amora believed him. At first, everything felt like magic. Long evening walks. Midnight calls. Future plans whispered like secrets only heaven could hear. He promised her marriage. He promised her forever. But love began to demand more from Amora. When Ton said his business was struggling, she used her savings to support him. When he said he needed a new phone to communicate with clients, she sold her gold necklace, the one her late father gave her. When rent became difficult for him, she paid it. Her friends warned her. Amora, slow down. But she would smile and say, he's my future husband. What's mine is his. Months turned into years. Ton stopped taking her on dates. He became distant. Calls reduced. Messages became short and cold. Baby, I'm just stressed, he would say. And Amora, ever patient, would apologize for asking questions. One night, she gathered the courage to ask him, when are we going to see your parents? You said this year. Ton sighed heavily. Why are you always pressuring me? Don't you trust me? That was the first time her heart cracked. Still, she stayed. Because she had invested too much. Because she loved too deeply. Because she believed suffering meant loyalty. Then came the day that shattered her completely. Amora was in the market when she heard her name. Amora. You didn't tell us Tond is getting married. She laughed nervously. Getting married? To who? The woman looked confused. To Sandra. The lady he impregnated. The introduction is next week. It felt like the ground disappeared beneath her feet. Her ears rang. Her vision blurred. She rushed to Tom's apartment, her heart racing with fear and denial. When he opened the door, he didn't look surprised. So it's true, she whispered, her voice trembling. He didn't deny it. She's pregnant, Amora. The word stabbed her chest. But, what about us? She cried. What about everything I've done? The promises. The sacrifices. Tond avoided her eyes. You knew I wasn't ready for marriage. You just assumed things. Assumed. She paid his rent. She funded his business. She stood by him when no one else did. I thought you loved me, she said, barely audible. He shrugged. I care about you. But Sandra's family is well connected. This will help my future. That was it. Years of loyalty traded for convenience. Years of sacrifice erased by opportunity. Amora walked home in silence that day. Not because she had no words, but because her heart had shattered into pieces too small to speak. The wedding happened quickly. Photos flooded social media. Ton smiling. Sandra glowing. Captions that read, God's perfect timing. Amora locked herself inside her room for days. She replayed every memory. Every warning she ignored. Every red flag she painted green. She hated herself more than she hated him. How did I not see it? But heartbreak has a strange way of teaching lessons no book can. Slowly, she began to rebuild. She returned to school to finish the course she once abandoned to support Tond. She started a small business with the little money she had left. It wasn't easy. There were nights she cried herself to sleep. But this time, she wasn't crying for him. She was grieving the version of herself that accepted less than she deserved. 2 years later, Amara was no longer the same woman. She was stronger, wiser, more guarded, but not bitter. One afternoon, while closing her shop, she saw a familiar face across the street. Turned. He looked tired, older, worn down. He approached her slowly. "Amara, you look good." She nodded politely. "How have you been?" she asked, calm and composed. He hesitated. "Marriage isn't what I expected." She didn't respond. He continued, "I made mistakes. I didn't value you. I was stupid." She looked at him, not with anger, not with love, but with clarity. "I gave you everything," she said softly. "And you gave me a lesson." He swallowed. "I wish I could go back." Amara smiled gently. "I don't. Because if she could go back, she might still be the girl who thought sacrifice meant self-destruction." As he walked away, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. Freedom. Sometimes heartbreak is not punishment. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes God removes you from a table where you were the menu. Amara didn't lose a man. She lost an illusion. And in losing him, she finally found herself.